and welcome everybody to the Key of E. I'm your host, Nader. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. And today we have a very special guitar. We have the PRS Custom 24 10 Top Piezo in Orange Tiger. Very long name, but this is an insanely nice guitar. It's one of the very few guitars that I own that, I consider to be a showpiece. It's just too beautiful not to display. And in fact, it is the one that is always displayed. If you look behind me, there's a gap between these two guitars. And that's the one that I display the most because it's just absolutely epic. So today we're going to be discussing about the different features of this guitar and whether it is worth its insanely high price, because this is quite the expensive guitar compared to everything else that you might find on the market. So what is this guitar? Well, this guitar is part of PRS's core lineup of guitars, or the American made ones. Now, the custom in the title just is basically their highest standard American. There's also the PRS Wood Library, and then there's more stuff that you could buy or select, and all of those that are way more expensive. However, this doesn't detract from the price of this guitar. This is still about $6,500 in current market. You can get the normal ones, but I'll explain what everything means. With this guitar, it's a PRS Custom 24 10 Top Piezo. What that means is, one, it's a 10 top. The 10 top stands for the top on the guitar, which is really pretty. So it's a select top. It's a flame maple selected top. Piezo stands for the fact that this also comes equipped with the piezo. The only difference that I could see between the piezo and not piezo ones visually is the brass on the bridge itself. So whenever you go for the top of the line, you get brass saddles. So that's one thing to take into consideration as well. Another fact is that you don't necessarily need to buy the 10 top. There's many of the normal ones that come with like insanely flame tops. I just fell in love with this one. I got it for a really good deal from Sweetwater. They essentially, gave me a chunk off. I ended up paying $4,800 out the door. Still a lot of money, but not bad considering where it could be, right? So that's one. Aside from that, when it comes to PRSs, there's always a 22 or a 24, which stands for the number of frets. So with the 22, you get 22 frets. With this guy at 24, you get 24 frets. What's interesting is that, the inlays themselves on the PRS, they're known for their bird inlays. On the 24, you get an extra one, which I could never make out, but I think it's an owl. Take it with a grain of salt. I could never really make it out, but the rest of it is really pretty. They're made from some sort of abalone material that is really nice. It also has a rosewood neck, and this is one of the nice rosewood necks, the ones that are dark. Mahogany body and mahogany neck. From what I can tell, the mahogany body is a single piece. I can't find a single seam. There isn't. There's just no seam in it at all. And then the neck, same. It's made from one piece. I can't find anything that suggests that this is a two-piece. So it seems like this is one piece and this is set neck. The guitar itself, even on the back, is absolutely beautiful. I like the orange color on it. This is the Orange Tiger specifically, so it's great. It does have a piezo system. I love it for playing live. It's just great. And then there's this switch over here where you could blend this piezo system between either full piezo, if you go in the upper position. Middle position is just it's a blend between the piezo system and the pickups, and it's controlled with this particular knob over here. And then the bottom position is just a neck. It's just a normal bridges and neck pickup. And then there is just a normal volume and tone control. 5-way selector switch. And there is your guitar with a vibrato, or vibrola, whatever you want to call it, tremolo. It's just a standard tremolo system. Does have brass on it. I will put all of the other specs that I will take from the PRS guitar website. I'll pop them on the screen. Take a look. Feel free to to pause it at any time to see the other specs that you might be interested in, such as the scale length and everything else. Well, there's one more thing that PRS also distinguishes their guitars with, and it's the neck itself. They have two types that they offer: a pattern thin and a pattern normal. This one is a pattern thin, which is, to be honest, very reminiscent of the blue Les Paul that I have over here. It's not too big, but it's not too thin. It's kind of chunky, but not really. It's really nice for my style of play. I like kind of those necks that are in between. I think the pattern thin is the way to go, especially if you want to have the best of both worlds. It's not too chunky, not too bad. You'll love it. Or at least I think anybody would love it. The handshake feels great. Access to the upper frets just feels great. There isn't anything about this guitar that I personally think sucks. The pickups are so beautiful. The carve is really nice. It's very ergonomic, especially with the belly cut. It has beautiful flame maple, on the sides as well, which is basically the cap itself, the 10 top cap. So really nice guitar. Also has locking tuners, which are PRS specific. And if you look specifically, they're also made out of brass. The way PRS locking tuners work is that they lock from the top, actually, not from the back like most locking tuners. You lock them from the top. There's plenty of videos that shows how that is done, but essentially they work great. They're also made of high quality materials. Their gearing is also exposed. So hope you can see here, their gearing is also very much exposed. They look honestly stunning. So really nice guitar. In a specs perspective, just really, really beautiful. Also, one thing, because this is a piezo, you could actually split the signal into two. So what that means is that right now I'm connected to the mix mag. I think that's what it's called. Yep, mixed mag, which is basically the mode that I just described, where you could, essentially blend the humbuckers and the pickups and the piezo systems. But you could also take out a separate jack into another, like acoustic amplifier, and essentially just work off of that. You don't have to do that. There's two inputs on this guitar, making it a really more versatile piezo system than, for example, the Music Man Majesty guitars that I discussed or talked about a couple weeks ago. So really nice spec guitar. When it comes to quality, insane. I don't know what else to say about this guitar. The quality is just so great. It really is just beautiful. There isn't anything that I don't know what they do in that factory, but quality control is beyond amazing. The only thing is that when it came out of the box, for whatever reason, it was, the action was a little bit high. So it needed a setup. And like I say in my videos, most guitars, irrespective of price, actually need a setup when you pick them up. It's just the way it works. I've seen it so many times on $6,500 guitars, $2,000 guitars, $1,000 guitars, right? There's always going to be a setup that is required, especially if you like to play the way you like to play. So that's the only thing. But as far as quality control, I can't see anything. There isn't anything. No ding, no scratches, nothing at all. It's just perfect, which is honestly, for that price, you would expect it. Okay, so now everything, when it comes to looks, like I said, great. When it comes to features, great. Quality control, great. But the most important thing, does it play and sound good? It sounds insane. It's one of the best sounding guitars I have. I still think my Music Man Sabre is the nicest sounding guitar. That's never going to change. But this also sounds excellent. It's very versatile, and you could essentially play any kind of music on it. It does shine with rock and maybe blues and all that, but I've had no problems playing fast licks on it. I've had no issues playing any kind of lick on it. It just sounds great. This is an example. So this guitar sounds good, feels good, plays good. It's really, really nice. The only issue is that, is it really worth $6,500? Honestly, no. And not because I don't think, this was always my dream guitar. Like I mentioned, showpiece. First thing that everybody walks into the studio sees. I love it. I think it's insane. However, it's probably, you can get 3 of these Les Pauls. And that's saying something, not the black one, the blue one. That's saying something when you can get 3 studio sessions for the price of this one. When the studio session does have all of the other features. And you can watch the review on the studio session that I've made on my channel. It's already up and posted. It's my first review. So how can you justify spending $6,500 on a guitar when you can literally get 3 guitars? And Gibsons at that, not known for their value. Like, imagine if you start talking about Schecters and Korean-made guitars. Granted, there might be some quality issues, but everything is fixable, and the features are insane that come with these guitars. Anyways, these days, I think the sweet spot for spending on a guitar is about $1,500, and you will get locking tuners, you'll get neck through body, you'll get ebony fretboards, you'll get even Floyd Rose bridges. So $1,500 to $2,000 is what I think is the sweet spot for a professional grade guitar. Now, granted, this is a custom grade guitar. It's still a showstopper, a piece. So I don't regret buying it. I'm just saying that for the price, you can certainly get something that is a lot cheaper. And that's just my thoughts and opinions on it. I don't want to sound hypocritical. I paid for it, so take it with a grain of salt or whatever you want to take it with. But it is my opinion at this point in life, is that I would not buy another one unless it's like a used one for $2,500, and yeah, I can definitely see myself buying that one. Even $3,000, I think that would be a great deal on one of these guitars. But for retail, not really, and I don't see them, holding value as much as you would. I think you can get this for about 3,000 on the used market. So price wise, this is probably the worst guitar I own from a price perspective. They don't hold their value, and they're essentially, even with the custom title and the custom craftsmanship, still a mass-produced guitar. So time to break it down by the categories. The most that you could get is 5. So 5 points is the highest grade. I always grade everything out of 5 points. So just wanted to explain that. It would be the looks category. It's very important. The playability category, the quality control category, the sound category, and finally the price category. When it comes to the looks category, 5 out of 5. Come and fight me, bro. It's really pretty. There's nothing that I can say about that. From the playability category, it's also a 5 out of 5. Frets are insane. Everything plays well. It's set up super low. No complaints whatsoever. Quality control, 5 out of 5. Nothing at all wrong with this guitar. It came out perfect. Sound, right? How does this guitar sound? 5 out of 5. It's still really nice, very versatile, and can play, honestly, any kind of music. Last category is price. 1 out of 5. I don't want to give a 0, but I think $2,000 less would have been like a 3.5. $3,000 less, maybe a 5, because it does offer a lot, and it is a professional grade guitar by all means. With that being said, this was the QV, and I'm your host Nader. Please stick around to the end of the video for sound demos. I'm gonna try to make as much as possible to demonstrate the tonal capabilities of this guitar. So hopefully you'll like it. Please stick around and make sure to like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you in the next upload. Catch you next time, and rock on.